Welcome to the press conference held by the State Council Information Office. Today we have invited Mr. Lyu Daliang, spokesperson of the JACC and director of the JACC Department of Statistics and Analysis. He will introduce China's import and export performance in the first half of 2023 and answer your questions. Now the floor is yours, Mr. Lyu. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, good morning. Welcome to the press conference amid a raining day. I'm very happy to meet you again. I will begin by introducing China's import and export performance in the first half of 2023 and then answer some of your questions. In the first half of 2023, facing the complicated external environment under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, China has efficiently promote the high quality and the overall performance toward the recovery, and we have seen the aligned expectation on the foreign performance. According to the statistics from the JACC, 20.1 trillion yuan registered for the foreign trade volume, up by 2.1%. Exports, 11.46 trillion yuan, up by 3.7%. Imports, 8.64 trillion yuan, down by 0.1%. Specifically, there were 5 main features. First, foreign trade scale improved. For the first half of this year, it's the very first time surpassed 20 trillion yuan threshold, and Q1 and Q2 reached 9.76 trillion yuan and 10.34 trillion yuan. Registered a positive growth, respectively. Month-on-month number, in Q2 more than Q1, 0.6%, and for May and June, so the 1.2% increase. And second, we're also seeing the enterprises, private sectors, registers 10.56 trillion yuan, up by 8.9%, accounting for 52.6% of the China's total, and 3.3 percentage points higher than the previous year. At the same time, foreign enterprises registered 6.61 trillion yuan, state-owned enterprises 3.29 trillion yuan, accounting for 30.7% and 16.4% respectively of the China's total foreign trade volume. Third, regarding the speed to the ASEAN countries is faster than the overall average. For the ASEAN, 3.08 trillion yuan as the largest trading partner, by 5.4%, making up 15.3% of China's total. And trade to EU, 2.76 trillion yuan, up by 1.9%, accounting for 13.7%. To United States, 2.25 trillion yuan, down by 8.4%, accounting for 11.2% of China's total foreign trade. And trade to ASEAN to the countries along the Belt and Road, it's faster than the 7.7% of the average, accounting for 30.4% and 2.4 percentage point faster. To the other RCEP trading partners, increased by 1.5%. Imports and exports of mechanical and electronic products, 6.66 trillion yuan, up by 6.3%, and making up 58.2% of China's total foreign trade, 1.4 percentage points higher than the same period last year. Automobiles parts, 600 million and 200 million, 27.7% and 12.2% faster. Exports of labor-intensive products, 1.97 trillion yuan, up by 0.04%. And the closest, and the apparel, access, shoes, the 569 million and 334 million and 130 million by 0.7%, 0.2%, and 0.4% respectively. According to the major products, is registered faster speed, and the energies and the food increased by 7.1%, and the imports of energy products, including crude oil, natural gas, and coal, is 561 million cubic meters, up by 32.2%. Imports of consumption products is 974%, up by 6.6%. Meat and water up by 9.5% and 30%. In general, China's foreign trade showed a strong momentum, reaching the new ground and also reaching the new structures. It showed the strong resilience. At present, as international environment has lacked the driving forces, unilateralism and the protectionism and the also geopolitical trend is on the rise. It's also giving a blow to China's foreign trade. Having said that, it also should be noted that the fundamentals of China's economy is strong resilience and long-term sustainability remain unchanged. We have reason to believe that China's foreign trade is expected to continue maintaining the growth, and more the pro-foreign trade policies will deliver its effect, and China will continue to show its momentum toward high-quality performance in foreign trade. Going forward, we will adhere to the guidance of Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, fully implement the spirit of the 20th CPC National Congress, and also will continue to implement the important guidance made by State Council. And we will continue to effectively coordinate our efforts to realize the new development philosophy for the new era, and also continue to study the key policies and also to build a smart borders and custom management, and also guard the country's borders and promote development. And we'll continue our work to promote stability and improve foreign trade structure, and making our contribution in high-quality development, and also embarking on the journey toward China's modernization. Now, I would like to take your questions. Thank you. And now the floor is open for questions. Please identify the media outlines before raising questions. With CMG, as you mentioned, the H1 performance. So what's your rating on the overall performance of the first half of China's foreign trade, and any changes? And what's your expectation for the second half of this year? Thank you for your question. In face of a sluggish external environment, major economies also had a spillover effect by shrinking their size. So there's also the uncertainties and instability elements. Under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, China's foreign trade showed the overall recovery, and China's foreign trade also to maintain its size, improve its quality, and also stand against the test. That are three positive changes. First, we have seen a more the dynamisms. There are around 540,000 enterprises with foreign trade activities up by 6.9%, and we have seen more the SMEs involved in this regard, increased by 8.3%. In terms of number of SMEs, and so we could see more activities going on. At the same time, private sectors are also the key forces driving foreign trade, and 6.8 percentage points higher than the overall average of foreign trade growth. and making up 52.7% of the overall foreign trade and driving 4.4% of the foreign trade growth. And second, we have seen improved foreign structures. So, which means the product chain, the general trade increased faster than the overall, making up 1.2 percentage point to 65.5% of the China's foreign trade. They have a longer production line and higher adding values. And for the western part and also the northeast provinces also registered 2.8% and 4.5 percentage point of the growth, and 0.7 percentage point and 0.4 percentage point faster than the average. And their overall the weight increased by 2.1%. So we could see a higher growth in these areas. And third, China had made great efforts in exploring new markets and building high-quality platform, cultivating the advantages the industries in order to cultivate more driving forces. The foreign trade growth registered double-digit to 34.3% in terms of the trade with the Belt and Road countries, and to the Latin American countries increased by 7%. So we have seen various choices in terms of foreign trade. And the Hainan Free Trade Port increased by 26.4% in terms of the trading platform. We have seen the electric cars, the lithium, the batteries, and the batteries for the vehicles drive the overall foreign trade by 0.8 percentage points. And we have seen more efforts invested in the grain industry. Talking about the second half of this year, we feel the pressure, but we also have more confidence in maintaining China's foreign trade. Having said that, we have seen the increasing and also intensified the geopolitical issues and also the sluggish foreign trade. They bring that the pressure to China's economy, the foreign trade. But having said that, we could see that the China's fundamentals have not changed. With more policies begin to deliver their efforts, they have the reasons to believe that we could see that we can reach the target of increasing quality and efficiency of foreign trade. Thank you. China News Agency. In the recent 2 months, we have seen a little bit slow down in the foreign trade. How you read all these? Thank you for your question. Yes, indeed, we have noted that people have quite curious about the recent changes in terms of the performance of foreign trade. People have some concern, but we would like to say that the overall China's foreign trade is stable. It's a little bit slowed down in terms of the month-to-month number. But if you look at the number specifically, the month-to-month number actually increased. So stable growth basically reflected in the following areas. First, in terms of scale, a skill increased and also in a quite good amount. So we've reached the 20 trillion yuan threshold. That's the very first time in history. So that's a milestone breakthrough. Such breakthrough happened against the backdrop of the lack of the driving forces and the world economy recovery, and also the hard won number. In terms of the incremental number, it's around 400 billion yuan registered. So that's equal to 3 million vehicles exported. Second, in terms of pillars to underpin the foreign trade growth, the price and the volume, there are the two key numbers impact foreign trade. The import-exports numbers decreased compared to the same period last year. That's Q1. For Q2, price and the volume registered a positive number. Import increased by 5.9%. Export increased by 2%. As we mentioned, the energy products, imports and export of vehicles all surpassed double digit. So the increase in volume also drive the total scale of the foreign trade, as also showed a solid fundamentals of China's economy. And third, we also maintained our competitive advantages. World Trade Organization estimates at the 1.7% of the foreign trading good. That's lower than the previous years. A slowdown in the trading goods. That's basically the common the situation in among the countries. China still show a strong resilience and also maintained and solidify the competitive advantage. And we also calculate based on the standards released by WTO. For the first 4 months, China's trading goods actually increased in terms of proportion of the global foreign trade, also showing a stronger competitive advantage of China's foreign trade. But still, there are a big pressure on China's foreign trade. We have seen the up and downs, and also that the uncertainties in the international arena. It should also be noted that the fundamental of China's economy is a strong resilience, a huge potential, and long-term sustainability remain unchanged. China also have actively promoting a global cooperation, and also a lot of policies and to stimulate foreign trade will begin to deliver their effect. So we have strong support in this regard. So we have the confidence in 2023 we'll continue to maintain China's foreign trade share and also maintaining our world #1 foreign trade country. Thank you. And we have released the A16 policies. Right now it's already 1 month, so would you please talk about its current results? And in face of the sluggish of the international situation, what kind of the policies or measures will be taken by GACC to boost China's foreign trade? Thank you for your questions. And we continue to stabilize China's foreign trade and also to improve China's foreign trade mix. And we also released the 16 measures to further improve the foreign trade. The foreign trade entities actually are the key part in these campaign, and among the 16 measures, as mentioned, that we will continue to improve services and decrease cost for the entities, so help them to explore more markets and seizing more opportunities. We also had a press conference to further elaborate OD16 matters last month, so to help the enterprises to interpret OD's policies. And we hope that these pro policies will very soon deliver the benefits to the enterprises. So over past months, we have seen that in Qingdao Custom, they also have the A30 detailed action plan to help the industry to upgrade business in overall 6 areas of the actions. And Guangzhou Custom also released their policies and action plan to further smooth the clearance system and also help the enterprises to ease the burden and increase their efficiencies. In total, 20 actions. And the same for Nanjing Customs. They have 26 action plans and help the enterprises to shoot the problem and also to help them to implement the policies and also the AO and also the IP rights protection for different level of customs. Also visit different enterprises to listen to their voices and also to help them solve the problems. Judging from the current situation, a policy benefits begin to deliver in terms of e-payment. In Huangpu, Chengdu, Chongqing, we have seen these implemented, help the enterprises to deal with the taxation issues. And a good practice also began to roll out to other places. In Beijing, a vacuum package, very convenient. From the airport to the enterprises, just costs 6 hours. And also will help the enterprises to short the waiting time and help them to saving more cost. And Shanghai also have the key petrol companies that help them to shorten the overall examine hours, shorten the examination time from days to hours. So we enable the enterprises to have the tangible benefits delivered by all these policies. And going forward, we'll continue to further implement the 16 policies and the action plans and the measures. And we will also evaluate all these measures. And also we will continue to improve and also enrich our DA policy tools in order to stabilize the foreign trade size and also to promote the foreign trade mix. Thank you. CNBC. 2 questions. For Q2, especially June, was the situation about the cross-border e-commerce. Second, with the upgrading of China's manufacturing industry and how that impacts China's foreign trade with ASEAN countries. Thank you for your question. We'll begin by answering your question regarding e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce. At the mid of last month, in Langfang International Economic Forum, we introduced about China's cross-border e-commerce and released the set of numbers. This year, based on our preliminary statistics, for the H1 this year, we continue to see the 1.1 trillion yuan registered, up by 16%. Exports, 821 billion, up by 19.9%. And 276 billion imports increased by 5.7%, all registered a strong momentum and also a big boost to stabilize China's foreign trade and improve its foreign trade structure. Specifically, compared to the general trade calculation, for the e-commerce, especially cross-border e-commerce, we have a different set of calculation methods as still aligned with these standards. And China is the very early countries to collect the data and to have the statistics on the cross-border e-commerce. So our frequency of collecting numbers right now is a semi and annual report. So interim and annual reports. And to your second question, as trade with ASEAN countries. ASEAN actually is the largest trading partner with China. For the H1 this year, 3.08 trillion yuan registered, up by 5.4%, making up 15.3% of the China's foreign trade, 0.5 percentage points higher than the same period last year. It basically have three highlights. First, bilateral cooperation is also getting more closer. And we have seen in June and April, I have seen two rounds of negotiations in Thailand and China, and also the RCEP also, if in fact, in the Philippines, which means that RCEP actually injects more impetus to the China and ASEAN, the foreign trade cooperation. So the trade with the ASEAN countries also improve its proportion among all the China's RCEP partners. So we're looking at for the rail transport, and China's benefited from the China law. The freight trade train is around the 2.146 million the tons of products by the China Lao Railway. And third, China also started to improve its cooperation in terms of the import of the agricultural products. We have seen more and more agricultural products imported from ASEAN countries. And for H1 this year, around 125 billion yuan agricultural products imported. We have see some favored products, fruits. That's around 400 billion. Pineapple and durian increased by 24% and 15%. And import of the palm oil also increased by more than 100%. China and ASEAN are the biggest trading partner for each other. We enjoy a huge potential. And we would like to see more cooperation in various areas. And the bilateral trade will continue to maintain its strong momentum. Thank you. Phoenix TV, we have a notice that right now the global economy is not showing a positive sign, and we believe that the number released by DAJCC, actually the number is more optimistic than the other agencies. How you evaluate? So JCC numbers is the official numbers over period, we continue to collect all these numbers and continue our work according to the laws and the regulations, and also follow the international practice. This is based on our registration and also reflect the results in objective and genuine way. So the numbers actually collected and reflected according to the law. And this is also based on the registration numbers at the custom. So we have a solid ground for these numbers. For different statistics, we have noted different statistics. So these reflect China's foreign trade from different angles. So we have a different way of collecting numbers. It's not the same, but it's relevant. So in terms of exports, the delivery value and the export values, they actually all have exports in their name, but it's different. So they based on the entities. And they also collect the number at a different time. So that is why you could see that there are the different results in terms of statistics. And also the balance of payments, the foreign trade and the foreign trade are also different. The former one actually based on the IMF, and the later one is based on the United Nations standards. And also we have seen that the previous one, whether happened that among the national citizens, and the latter one also calculate based on whether it's cross-border or not. We talk about, let's say, cell phone. The former one is calculated the whole value of the cell phone. The latter one is calculated except the imported material. So it's a very complicated content. We also conducted a collaboration with international agencies to compare the way of statistics. And the majority of the countries follow the United Nations practice. The import and exports we calculate based on a different country. And also value and receiver actually is different. And also need to bear in mind the differences in exchange rate. And we have also continued to make our statistics in a transparent way and also reflecting a full picture, and also can be compared to other countries. And they're the same standard, so the user of the data can enjoy all these services. Thank you. Haibao News. Will you please introduce and how to further explore the foreign trade in different markets. In terms of the exploring the various of foreign trade, that's our requirements. That's also the hallmark of our work. And we have actively deal with the international situations. And we, on the one hand, consolidated the foreign trade with the developed countries, and also explore the foreign trade with emerging markets and also the other countries. So the circle of friends have been enlarged. For example, with our deepen the collaboration with ASEAN countries, started with the 2020, and ASEAN has the largest trading partner with China, and our trade with the Latin America also surpassed the 3 trillion. And in past 6 years, we have maintained positive growth with Latin America, and also the 5 Central Asian countries also become the new highlights last year. The trade with these 5 countries is 38 percentage point faster than the foreign trade average. Not long ago, China Africa Conference will release the number. Also showed that the trade with Africa, the index increased from 100 to 990.55 in 2020, which also showing the faster growth in the foreign trade with the African countries. For H1, China's trade with ASEAN increased by 5.4%, that's 7% with African countries, and 35.6% with the 5 Central Asian countries, all faster than the average. During the whole process, the GACC has continued to leverage its role to serve the China's foreign diplomacy. For example, the China as the Central Asian country, we contributed 7 achievements and also signed the 10 documents witnessed by President Xi. And also in terms of a China-African conference, we also have the sideline. We also initiated SPS, the corporation, and also upload and also make the official website of SPS. And also after China has built the foreign relations with Doris, we have also signed 2 aqua products and baked coffee beans and bananas and the documents, as well as the 2 MOUs in terms of the clearance and quarantine witnessed by a president of 2 countries. Going forward, we will continue our efforts in facilitating the foreign trade and to explore the international supply chain and also the developing the various global markets. Thank you. South Metropolitan policy, and I'd like to know about the trade with the countries along the Belt and Road, and what's your expectation going forward in this regard, and what's the job have done to boost a trade with the BRI countries. And the third, the BRI high-level forum will be initiated. So people quite would like to know about the trade with the BRI countries. The trade with BRI countries increased from 6.46 trillion yuan in 2013 to 13.76 trillion yuan in 2022. And for H1 this year, 689 trillion yuan registered, and 9.8% increase, a 7.7 percentage point faster than the average growth of China's foreign trade. First, we have seen a closer cooperation in industrial and the automobile parts. The intermediate products increased by 39.3%, 34.3%, and 28.9% respectively. At the same time, import from all these countries in terms of the energy product and the agricultural products increased by 5.7% and the 2.9% respectively. In China-EU freight, China-Lao Railway all contribute to the foreign trade with BRI, so China further increases interconnectivity with BRI countries. By rail, China increased 23.8% with these countries, 14% higher than the foreign trade to these countries. By road, 3.6% increase in China's foreign trade with these countries. Third, the central and western region of China also registered the eye-catching results. Their trade with these countries increased by 23.2%, making up 21.2% of the total and the 2.3 percentage point faster. Guangxi, Xinjiang, and Inner Mongolia, our trade surpassed 50% growth. GCC has continued to implement the General Secretary's DA policies and directions. BRI foreign trade also top of our agenda, and we will continue to import agricultural products. For H1, we have signed 44 documents in terms of the to boost the agricultural cooperation. We also signed the document with Iranic customs, and also for the Philippines, Uzbekistan, also signed all arrangements. And third, we continue to improve the software and hardware the facilities at the port and make sure that the platform is further facilitated, so that will continue to help us prepare the third BRI forum this year. And we will further boost the cooperation in the areas such as quarantine, clearance, and we will continue to pave our way to making new contribution in BRI cooperation. Peng Pai, this paper. Since the beginning of this year, private sector has continued to become a mainstay of China's foreign trade. Do you please introduce about any highlights of private enterprises? Yes, indeed, the private sector has always been the irreplaceable part. They contribute 50% of taxation, 60% of China's GDP, 70% the innovation, and 80% the job for urbanization, 90% of the number of enterprises. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in the 2022, it's the very first time the 50% of the foreign trade coming from the enterprises. Right now, this number increased to 52.7% of the foreign enterprises with the private enterprises with foreign trade activities. Show the following features. First, we have seen the increase in the skill, so that further help to solidify the foundations of China's foreign trade. 459,000 enterprises with the foreign trade. So they the stabilizer of China's foreign trade and 10.59 trillion yuan registered, helped driving China's foreign trade by 5.4 percentage point. And second, we have seen that they have also made their efforts to China high quality development, the high-tech products imported by the private enterprises reached 44.7%. At the same time, the private sector also the main force to force 346 billion. A new products increase 64%. And they also import their own brand products by 1.6 trillion yuan, up by 46.6%. Third, import of the basic living products. H1 agricultural products increased by 21.9%, 5.7 percentage point faster than the average import. The grain and meat increased by 24.2% and 13.1% respectively. Medicine and the prescriptions increased by 24.8%. 4.2 percentage point faster than the average, and the mineral and the metal also increased. So no matter in the size, structure, and quality, private enterprises have made a great contribution to China's foreign trade. Going forward, the JCC will continue to implement the spirit of the 20th National Congress, and also General Secretary Xi's the guidelines in boosting the foreign sectors, and will also provide the services to the private sector, and also to help to cultivate the driving forces in enterprises, including the private sector. Thank you. Last question, please. Is a Red Star News. Would you please elaborate the China's foreign trade with the RCEP other trading members? What's your expectation going forward with the trading partners of RCEP, and what kind of the measures have been taken to facilitate RCEP implementation? Thank you. Thank you for your question. RCEP, in effect, completely making a milestone in the region. China's with 14 foreign trade registered 6 trillion yuan, up by 1.5%, making up 20% to the China's foreign trade. We have seen the positive growth to majority of the partners. To Singapore, Laos, Myanmar increased by 27%, 25.8%, and 15.2% respectively. RCEP has also continued to brought benefits to Chinese companies. Basically, in two areas. First, about the regional industrial cooperation. RCEP joined a vast potential and also unleashed gradually that will help to bring a factor of a products flow that also help the enterprises to explore new markets. At the same time, Import of crude oil and other energies is increased by 4.7% and 70.4% respectively. On the other hand, RCEP plus the existing bilateral FTAs bring additional benefits to the country involved, help the enterprises lower their cost. For H1, Chinese enterprises enjoyed a reduction of taxes by the 1.07 billion, including the products and the plastics, and also the machinery industry. For the clothes, the accessories, plastics, they enjoyed additional benefits. China also have more than 500 countries. 500 enterprises enjoyed the RCEP documents from the destination exports countries, help them to further save the cost in tariff. GCC has implemented the work made by the State Council to better implement the RCEP and help to boost the cooperation in supply chain and industrial chain. And we will do the following. First, focus on the clearance standards and the policies. And we'll also improve the digital tools to shorten and facilitate the clearance work. Second, for RCEP trading partners, we focus on each trading partners, their work in the trade facilitation and also the clearance and quarantine work, and also look at the trading partners' policies in implementing RCEP, and also help the Chinese enterprises deal with the problems they are facing when doing business with RCEP countries. And we will also guide the enterprises to better use the policies of RCEP and help them to explore RCEP markets. Thank you very much, Mr. Lyu. Thank you, all the friends from the media. This is the end of today's presser. Thank you.